pictures.
Good evening. This is a meeting of the Athens Board of Zoning Appeals. The time is 7 p.m. and the date is August 11, 2015. At this time, I will call the meeting to order. The board consists of 5 members and 2 alternates, the alternates taking full part in the discussions and becoming a voting member in the absence of a member or when a member abstains for conflict of interest. Present tonight are Ms. Kay Towsley, Ms. Joan Krajinski, Ms. Lisa Carson, and alternates are Mr. Ed Baum and Ms. Ellen Salto, who will be the voting member tonight. I am John Golsey, the chair. Also present are zoning administrator Mr. John Paskey and secretary Mr. Paul Eschenbacher. At this time, I invite you to view a pre-recorded video on the rules and procedures of the board.
The Athens Board of Zoning Appeals operates according to the following procedure. The chair will name and describe the case. The zoning administrator or secretary will state the basis of the objection and any applicable facts or conditions pertaining to the case. The appellant or their representative will give reason why the appeal should be viewed favorably. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of the request will be heard. Anyone wishing to speak in general comment will be heard. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition will be heard. If necessary, the appellant or their representative will offer concluding, summary, or rebuttal remarks. Testimony from the floor shall be closed. The board will deliberate and render a decision. According to Athens City Code, Section 23.07.03b, the board has power to grant variances from the strict application of the code, provided the variance will not be contrary to the public interest, the spirit of the code is observed, public safety and welfare are secured, and substantial justice is done. According to Athens City Code, Section 23.07.10c, variances from the code shall not be granted unless the board makes specific findings of fact based directly on the particular evidence presented to it that the standards and conditions imposed in this title, if applicable, have been met by the applicant. Exceptional circumstances. There are exceptional or extraordinary circumstances or conditions applying to the property in question or to the intended use of the property that do not apply generally to other properties or classes or uses in the same zone. Practical difficulty and undue hardship. Because of exceptional or extraordinary circumstances or conditions pertaining to a specific piece of property, a literal enforcement of these regulations will result in practical difficulty or undue hardship that is unnecessary to the achievement of public purposes. Preservation of equal property rights. Literal interpretation of these regulations would deprive the appellant of rights commonly enjoyed by others in the same zone and the same vicinity, while a granting of the requested variance will not confer on the applicant any special privilege that is denied to other properties in the same zone and the same vicinity. Minimum variance. The variance granted is the minimum variance required to make possible the reasonable use of the property. Absence of detriment. The authorizing of such variance will not be of substantial detriment to adjacent property and will not materially impair the purpose of the zoning code or the public interest. Not of a general nature. The condition or situation of the specific piece of property or the intended use of said property for which variance is sought, one or the other or in combination, is not of so general or recurrent a nature as to make reasonably practicable the formulation of a general regulation for such condition or situation. Any person, resident, or officer, department, or appointed body of the City of Athens, aggrieved by a decision of the board, may petition the Athens County Court of Common Pleas concerning the illegality of the decision. Such petition must be filed within 30 days after the mailing of the decision of the board to the applicant. Thank you.
There are 2 cases on tonight's agenda. Case number 15-12V, property at 165 Columbus Road, continued from last month. And case number 15-14V, property at 5 Pratt Street. The board is required to take testimony under oath. Would anyone wishing to speak concerning any item on the agenda please stand? Do you swear or affirm that any testimony you will present to the board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. Thank you. Be seated, please. Thank you. Our first case, again, is continued from last month, case number 15-12V, Zone B3, property at 165 Columbus Road, RVC Architects Appellant. Appellant is requesting a variance from ACC 23-1001, Table A, a schedule of bulk controls, to allow alteration of a building with a rear setback of 0 feet, where 10 feet is the minimum required. Mr. Paskey, have any comments?
Let me bring this up to you real quick to show you what's going on this one. Everyone can see this. In 1999, this addition was built on the rear of the existing building. They show it as being 36 feet off of the rear property line. So the permit was granted based on it being 36 feet. Now they're requesting to put a balcony or a covered patio on this side to put bikes or whatever underneath there, and actually have one now, and they're taking it farther back. But when they got it surveyed, the actual survey, they found out that this is actually on the rear property line and it was not 36 feet off. So the variance is actually for something that happened 16 years ago.
Okay.
We're just trying to clean it up so that they can add on to what they wish to do now. What they're asking for to add on to what they're doing does not require a variance, but since they're changing the footprint and the roof line, they got to get either bring it into conformance or get a variance, and that's why they're here tonight.
Okay.
So what were the rear setbacks 16 years ago? Or is that what you said, 16?
No, it's just when it was done 16 years ago, I don't think they had it surveyed, and they just, whoever did the drawings guesstimated, and 36 feet is what it showed on the drawings.
Okay, but what were the code
It was the same as it is now.
It was the same.
Yeah. So.
And so the thing that they want to build along the side doesn't...
That's really not why we're here. We're
Okay.
here for
Okay.
that was what was done 16 years ago.
That currently exists.
So they currently exist, yeah.
Okay.
To clean that up, and once the variance is granted for that, then what they want to do on the side is permissible.
Okay, there is also an identical building next to it. We don't have to do anything with that, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
It's on another parcel right now, but they're going to move the lot lines or combine the parcels. They can speak to that. They're going to speak to that
Okay.
so that'll all be taken care of.
All right, thank you.
So in the rear of that building, there's a wall, and and there's still some space between the back of that building and that wall. So that's not their property?
According to the survey that was given to us, it's apparently not. It's probably a retaining wall that was put on the side of the hill. I can let them speak a little bit more to that.
So what's the zone behind them?
R. That's an R zone going up that hill.
That piece of property is...
Yeah. I'll let John speak to that.
Okay, so you're not going to deal with that. Okay.
But that's why I just want to point out why we're here tonight. It's actually for what was done years ago. So, this mine, John?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Is that two here?
Thank you.
So can I make a comment?
Just 1 second. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Sure.
I guess I had to email John with some questions because when I went and looked at it, I realized I had no information.
Yeah.
And it would be really helpful to have this information when we do go out to inspect a piece of property so we actually know what we're looking at.
We talked about that in our office, and I thought that handing this stuff out to you guys would have really confused you, and I just felt it was best for me to bring it tonight and explain it to you in front of you.
Well, that's fine, but we could have had a note that explained it. I mean, just few high points, right? I mean, I guess I find it difficult not to be prepared.
Well, maybe we'll find some more. Welcome back, and would you please state your name and address for the record?
Yes, my name is John Ballinger, RBC Architects, 131 West State Street, and hopefully I can clarify any questions that you might have about the reason that we're here tonight. The first thing that I think I passed out photographs, site plans, and the zoning map of Athens. A little fuzzy, but as John said earlier, though, the zone directly behind this property is not residential. It's OS, which is outside space.
Open space.
Open space, I'm sorry. Outside space. Okay, everything's outside. Open space. And the R1 is further behind that. Now, I didn't... first of all, let me just clarify that this building was built, I guess John indicated, 16 years ago, and it was not by us. And how this happened, it's not clear 100% in terms of the presentation that was made to the city at that time. The building adjacent, which I think I showed a site plan, is one that we did, the one to the right side where we conformed, obviously, with all the setback requirements. I did not go through the entire findings myself tonight, and that's probably, John, probably my fault that you don't have more information than you would normally have on a case, because I looked at this as being a little bit different than the normal presentation that I would make here before the board. The whole reason that this occurred, this appearance before the board, is a porch was partially constructed on the existing building, which brought everything to the light of the code. It was not understood by the tenants of the building at that time that they needed to get permits. We've started the process, and at that time discovered this error in the survey, or the error in presentation, maybe, that was done in 1988, or when the original building was constructed. Since then, the owners have hired the Buckley Group at least to solve one of the problems. There's 3 parcels of land here. The first building was squeezed into one of the parcels. It not only did not have a rear yard setback, but it neither had the side yard setback. And the surveyors, because the size of the lot permitted it, there was actually 3 lots. The middle lot has been divided in 2, and I've got the documentation here to give to the city to show that that lot split has occurred, which in effect creates the proper side yard setback for this particular building, as well as maintaining the required setbacks in the B3 zone for the building on the right side of the property. So both buildings, at least in terms of the side yard setbacks in the B3 zone, are in compliance now. The issue with the rear yard setback obviously cannot be addressed through any kind of survey work. It has to be done by a consideration of you folks here at the zoning board. The property, and I think the photographs, I tried to just show you that the encroachment, if you would call it that, on the rear yard setback is into a wooded hillside. It's not really any backyard. It is open space as designated by the city of Athens. The power line right away actually goes right down through that open space, and I think that's what determined the width of it at that point between the R1, which is farther up the hill on that same area of the lot, on that same part of town, essentially. But if you go down there and have an opportunity, or it's probably too late now, there is no visual or physical connection between the back of this piece of property and that R1 in any way. So therefore, we don't believe that hopefully this is an issue that can't be resolved. It's something that didn't get taken care of at some point in time in the past, and we're looking for a solution at this point that would be not in the detriment of the public interest, which I don't believe this request is.
If you were to look at this page here, the aerial, and on the building farther to the north, it's got kind of two different colored roofs. You'll see the addition that was done in '99 where the roof color is a little bit different. Is everyone seeing that? Mm-hmm. So that's the part that's in question.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also see on that same plat that the R1 is actually a house way back up in the
Yes.
hill.
Yeah.
So what's in question is this piece with the
Yeah,
garage
that
door?
was built on, and it comes up to the property line. Where it should have been required to have a 10-foot setback, correct?
I know it's only an assumption, but my guess is in 1999, the property lines were so hard to determine on Columbus Road because of being, if you look at a survey, but we found this out when they just repaved Columbus Road. It was tough to determine where your actual property line was at out through there because some properties went to the center of the street, others had 100-foot right-of-ways, some had 50-foot right-of-ways. It's all over the place. So what they probably did, without getting a surveyor, is they measured it maybe from the edge of pavement to figure out exactly where where they thought their right-of-way line was, and then measured back for property line. And I don't know. I'm speculating. I'm not going to make any guesses for anybody from 16 years ago. But
Right, because you,
in any instance, that something happened that showed it at that time 36 foot is a rear yard setback, and in actuality it is 0.
Well, I could have done that by looking at the rest of the property is into the center line of
Correct.
Columbus Road, is where that property line actually goes. And that's the only property on the street, really, that does that, has that configuration.
so these two pictures of these are both the same structure?
That's
But this is fencing is no longer there, correct?
That's there, and I took that picture just a minute ago.
It's hard to see on this.
You can't even see it on this.
Can't see it on this one.
It looks like it disappeared.
Yeah.
Because it's a gate. It was open.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
What's this
Okay.
yellow stuff here? See, because I swear I drove on Sunday and came and I could almost drive back there.
That was the other building, I bet.
Yeah. The other building is open.
What that is it looks like it's right up against the building, but that's actually where the trash containers are held. And there's probably about 15 feet from the end of this.
There is, exactly.
Okay.
You're absolutely correct, right. There is a space
It
in
looks like
between
it's
that.
right up against
Yes.
it, but there's quite a bit of room. We've got all our
Yeah.
dumpsters.
Thank you. I was looking at the right building, right, but yeah. Yes.
And if
It
that
is.
door swings open, when it swings open towards that,
Yeah.
you may look on one of the other pictures like it's up against it.
Right.
Open back there, right?
There's a space right along here,
There, yeah.
which you go, see it's over this way, but the way this picture was taken, then it, and there's no new construction happening right now,
No.
correct?
Well,
No.
not yet. Well, the porch was put in before I was contacted.
We caught them in the act.
Okay, and we're talking about this porch.
That's correct, yes.
Okay,
It's nothing near the property line.
right, that's all I'm trying to clarify because right. So that's within reasonable distance.
It's within code.
Right, okay, okay.
And I think that, yeah, that if any future additions or any work that ever is to be done on this, I mean, things are always changing. We've already made alterations to these buildings over time. And like John has indicated, if we don't get this resolved, then every time it's going to be a problem. because
Right,
of
every
this.
time you're going to be up here.
Yeah. Is there anything more you want to say?
That's all
No?
I have.
Any questions for Mr.
Any more
Mollentu?
questions?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I was just going to ask, so, this is maybe not related to this one. Open space is owned by private people, or is it city, or is it buildable?
In that situation behind us, if you guys remember, that house behind us actually came here a couple years ago for a rental permit. And when he requested to be annexed in the city, Paul helped me out on this, he agreed to donate, or not donate, but to get water and sewer or something. He agreed to allow all the rest of the space to be open space so nothing else could ever be built up there.
Right.
So it's owned by the same person who owns that our property,
Okay.
but it cannot be developed on.
Yeah. Okay.
I can tell you one thing what happened. We built the original building in 1988. This addition was put on in
99.
It was the same company as Morton Buildings did
Yeah.
that for us. And we had them do everything we thought was right with the city.
Yeah, I know.
We thought we did everything right with the city when we did it. The second building we had John do because Morton didn't build the building, but Morton offered their services to do all the stuff that John does, so it came with the service. We had no idea it was on the line.
Okay.
Tom, why don't you give
Could you identify yourself,
Oh, yeah,
please?
my name's Tom Parfit.
And do you swear to tell the truth?
Tell
Okay.
the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I'm one of the partners that own that. I'm sorry, I should have stood up. I didn't think I'd be talking, but that's what happened. It was an addition just as a warehouse that was put on in 1996, about 8 years after we built the original building. And we just assumed it was right. We didn't have any idea it was off until we found out later.
Questions? Okay, thank you. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of the request? Anyone wishing to speak in general comment will be heard now. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition will be heard. Okay, discussion is closed from the floor.
Sorry, you have any comments? Any comments? Okay.
Okay. Any more discussions, or somebody wants to make a motion?
Well, so we're assuming that the property owner to the rear that it's abuts is not here to make any comment, and we didn't receive anything, so we have to assume that
There is no opposition.
there's no opposition.
And this is the property owner to the north, but he doesn't have any comments.
Right, I
Okay.
realize that, yeah.
Okay. So if you do, we'll be happy to hear you. Yeah, no. Well, we close the discussion from the floor, but you have a chance to go in there and state your name, your address, and yeah. And also, do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, great.
My name is Qudar Shah. I'm the owner of 175 of Columbus Road. Of course, I wish my neighbors all success and good luck. I am not aware of this problem at all because we haven't seen such a problem. Nobody has informed me except by this letter, and the letter came without any information. No map, no drawings, no plan, nothing. So the only thing that I have to say that, what shall I do? I mean, just to avoid my property from any problem related to this problem. I am away from them. According to the code, we should keep certain amount distance between the two properties. I need to keep that. But in any way, I'm not resisting, not opposing, not suggesting anything against them. The only thing that I'm concerned about my property here. I'm offering it for sale. I'm getting older and I can't do any project there, but we have to keep the right for me or for the others in case in the future, I mean, there is a problem created because of this and that. Otherwise, good luck for them and God bless them.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Mr. Paskey, when the neighbors are informed about these cases, are they told that they could go to your office and review?
He did. He was in today.
But general people are informed that they can come to your office and review the files?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Okay, unless there is any discussions, we are looking for a motion.
Well, I guess I have another question.
Sure.
This is to the appellants here.
Well, okay.
Okay. Because behind this building, they still seem to have some equipment and stuff. And that would not be on your property anymore, right? So I guess in terms of people's property rights, even though it's open space, do you, I mean, you're asking us in good faith to go forward with this, but I'm asking you in good faith, are you using other people's property?
Well, I need to find out from John exactly where the line is, because I thought it was just the back corner towards Mr. Shar's property. I didn't know it was this corner. So
Oh.
I need to find that out. So if that's the case, we'll make sure we don't.
I think that.
Okay, that's all I'm asking, is that
the
we're,
back corner of the thing that we put on.
we
That's all.
just clear it up.
We've got a surveyor on board who's already provided survey work here. We'll put pins in to make sure that nothing that they're doing encroaches on his property.
It wouldn't all be on his property, because this is to the other side.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this is the oak.
I think that's something between the
space,
two
yeah.
owners,
Yeah.
they can work it out, yeah. Thank you. You want to make a motion? Here, just read this right there. Yeah.
I move that the appellant be granted a variance from ACC 2310.01 Table A, Schedule of Bulk Controls, to allow alteration of a building with a rear setback of 0 feet, where 10 feet is the minimum required.
Did I say the case number?
Case number is 15-12V.
And the address.
And the-
Address is 165 Columbus Road.
A second.
I heard Joan, second. Okay, let's go through the findings. Exceptional circumstances. There are exceptional or extraordinary circumstances or conditions applying to property in question or to the intended use of the property that do not apply generally to other properties or classes or uses in the same zone. Is there any exceptional circumstances?
Well, obviously, we've heard that there are some issues with trying to define property lines,
Yeah.
more so in the past than now. So, under those circumstances, I'm assuming that's still the case in 1999 when 1996 when they put that addition on.
Okay. So, is this the exceptional circumstances with respect to the property?
Well, the history of the property.
Yes.
Practical difficulty, again, would be the same thing because, it was done years ago.
What's done is done. I mean, you can't.
Well, you can't redo
You
but
You
can't.
could,
You
but I mean,
can.
our choices would be.
But at the time,
Yeah.
it was defined the property line to be further back. Preservation of equal property rights. Are we granting more privileges to this property than the one in the same zone and same vicinity?
Well, have we had anything else on Columbus Road come up about?
Not in this nature, yeah.
Right.
No.
No.
Minimum variance. Is this minimum variance required to make possible the reasonable use of the property? You all agree is yes?
Yes.
Okay. Absence of detriment. I don't think there would be any
No
detriment.
apparent detriment.
And not of a general nature.
No.
Okay. Okay, as long when we have a shot of the whole board, all those in favor of this variance, please raise your hand. So we have 5-0. You have the variance.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Before you guys leave on this, John, you will need to fill out a lot split application. And get it into me. It will not need to go to the planning commission or city council or anything. You'll need to fill out a lot split minor subdivision application for this.
Yeah, what I thought I would do is
Dave and Ray come and give that to you.
Okay.
So you can vacation, but I'll drop it off, and I'll stop down.
Yeah, just fill out that out. The same one you like to give your other property. And it will not have to go to planning commission or to city council. We can get that. Alrighty?
Staff should be out. File here. It's well.
Myrtle Beach?
Okay, we are on our second case is case number 15-14B, Zone R1, 5 Pratt Street. Appellant is Ms. Jill Harwood. Okay. Appellant is requesting a variance from ACC 23-1001, Table A, Schedule of Bulk Controls, to allow the construction of a deck to a house with a right setback of 2.5 feet, where 4 feet is the minimum requirement, and building lot coverage of 50%, where 30% is the maximum allowed. I assume, Mr. Paskey, that already the entire construction, building, everything is already exceeds 30%, right?
Yeah.
So do you have any rough idea that what it is now and what's going to go
The
to?
deck they're adding is 10 by 12,
So that's
so
120.
120 square feet, and if they're at 50% or 30, is it?
Okay, and because later on when we
They're well over already.
talked
I mean,
about when we talked about the minimum variance, it's not like it is 30 now, it's going to go to 50%, so it's just a little bit. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory.
Okay.
They're wishing to build a deck to the rear of the house of a property that has a garage already on it, and a house that the two of them combined obviously are well over the 60% or 30% number as is, and this is your typical west side lot that we come across quite frequently here.
Okay, would the appellant come to the podium and state your name and your address?
Hi, my name's Dave Earl, and I reside at 5 Pratt Street.
Okay.
And this is all real new to me, so I'm not even really sure what I'm supposed to do. I wrote down on the form letter that was submitted to you guys with
Yes.
what I thought was the detriment and the hardship and all that. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. So I guess I'm just here to answer any questions you would have of me.
Okay. The letter was actually signed by Jill, and it says the house was 100 years old, and now there is no opening from the house to the proposed deck, right? You still have to go through the steps going up, right?
There's no steps there. There's just
But there will be
a door and a 4.5-foot drop off. There was an old deck back there that was removed years ago.
Yeah.
And nothing's ever been replaced. And
Yeah, I was there today and saw
Oh,
it. There
yeah,
was-
it's
there was-
just
Can you say again what the dimensions of the deck will be?
actually we wanted it 12 by 14, and I thought that's what we had submitted, but 10 by 12 is fine if that will make it work.
So do you know the actual size of the lot?
It's 100 by 22. It's really, and when that lot was, I mean, you know, it's just so irregular. It's really impossible to do anything on it without having some type of variance. You know, it's just so odd. It's like 22 by 100 feet.
So it's 100 feet deep, so it's going way
It goes way back.
Right,
It goes
yeah.
clear back to the alley in the back also.
And that's your garage there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Any questions for the appellant?
So of this backyard, this thin backyard that you have, how much of it would be covered by the deck? Like a third?
Probably with the deck, probably a good third. But it would be beautiful.
Anything else? Any questions? You may be seated.
Thank you.
I know our code allows for a minimum of, what is it called, 4 feet on a lot that is an absolute minimum, 10%, but no less than 4 feet. But if you went by the true code on this, you would have 2 foot worth of building area on this property. You know, a total of 20 foot side yard setbacks. And the total lot's 22 foot wide, so.
And the house is already beyond the side yard, I mean, yes, right, yes.
Is there anyone who wants to speak in favor? I guess we don't have anyone, or would you like to say something? You don't have to. We don't. Okay, you have the letter in here. We also have 2 letters in our file. One is from Mr. Mike. I could not quite get the last name. It's McClintock. McClintock. Okay. At 167 West Washington Street, and he says addition of a deck would enhance the neighborhood, and has no objection. The other letter is from Christina and Locke Wolf at address 9 Pratt Street, which is next door to you, and they live directly next door, and they fully support the building of this deck. So we have 2 letters on behalf of the request, and there is no opposition. Would you like to draft a motion or
I could.
have a discussion?
Okay.
Or anybody else?
I'll just do a motion if nobody wants to say anything else.
I don't want to see anything else.
Okay, I move that the board consider case number 15-14V 5 Pratt Street. It's requesting a variance from AC 23-1001, Table A, Schedule of Bulk Controls to allow construction of a deck to a house with a right side setback of 2 and 1.5 feet, where 4 feet is a minimum requirement, and building lot coverage of 50%, where 30% is the maximum allowed.
I second.
Should we add the size of the deck?
Not in the variance, I don't think, because
Okay,
it
as
talks
long-
about the setback, I mean the lot coverage,
Yeah.
so that would be,
Okay. Okay, we have a second. Kay, you seconded? Okay, going to the discussions, exceptional circumstances. This lot is small, and
It's strangely shaped.
it's strangely shaped, and the deck is not that substantial, so
and also there's no back stairway out of this house, so one way or the other they have to,
that's right.
right,
yeah.
so that,
It's a long drop if they want to step out that door.
Yeah. Practical difficulty and undue hardship. Again, those are what we just mentioned. Preservation of equal property rights. I didn't see other decks in the neighborhood, but I'm sure, some probably. There is one. Okay. So there is decks are allowed. Minimum variance, I think this would be a minimum variance comparing that already exceeds the 30%, so it would be just 120 square feet. Absence of detriment. Apparently the neighbors think it's going to enhance the neighborhood, so. And not of a general nature. All right, you're all ready for voting. Once we get the shot, everyone who is in favor of this variance, please raise your hand. Okay, you have 5-0. You have the variance. Thanks.
Thank you.
Disposition of the minutes from July 14, 2015 meeting. Did you all read the minutes?
Yes, we did.
We have a motion to.
I move that we accept them as printed.
Okay. Second?
A second.
Ellen? Second. All right. And
Vote on it.
yes, is a motion.
Oh, we do.
All in favor of the motion?
Yeah, I won't be voting. I wasn't
You're not
I
voting?
wasn't here.
Oh, you weren't here? Okay. So we got it.
Yeah.
And motion to adjourn.
No, wait.
Wait, no.
Aren't you going to say something?
Not.
Well,
No.
after, later.
Afterwards.
Okay.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
So we are
7:40.
adjourned. All in favor?